Ladies and gentlemen, the boys are laughing because I literally wheeled on them. Hello. But anyway, welcome once again to AEW Mash. And is it WrestleMash this week? I suppose really it's WrestleMash. I'm going to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. AEW Dynamite this week, it was fucking awful. So I'm not going to talk about it because there is a great pay-per-view to talk about here. Death Before Dishonour. It's in the books. Title changes galore. Brilliant matches galore. And I'm absolutely certain that on a weekend such as this, we're going to have to talk a bit about WWE, obviously, with the news about Vince McMahon. But first, let me tell you about this podcast. AEW Mash is one of the many podcast parts which, when formed together, make the mega powers that is the Midweek Mashed Tattie Sportscast. You can find us across all social media and on all streaming platforms. Harvey, put me off with a sneeze there. Want to support the guys? You can buy us a coffee. It goes towards running the podcast that we love to bring to you. But if you want to do anything for us, really, honestly, the main thing to do that really would warm our wee Ayrshire hearts and Camanian hearts, just leave us
5 stars, baby! Boom!
Boom! Thanks, buddy. Joining me today are my two best friends. It is the workhorse, the Wish Viking, many nickname man. He is Macho Mick, and the real Caymanian Hulk Harvey brother.
Yeah,
not really a full vigorous kind of intro again, lads. I've been playing football today. I played my first 90 minutes as a goalkeeper for 10 years, and everything hurts, and there is a lot of bumps and bruises, man. How are you guys doing, though?
All good in hood.
All good in the hood.
All good, man. I'm good, brother.
Good, brother. Great. Yeah. Well, I mean, we have a great pay-per-view to talk about, guys. We really do. Death Before Dishonour, an almost 6,500 capacity house, I believe it was. Absolutely packed to the rafters. What do we think about it, lads? I'll open it up to you guys immediately then. How do we feel about it?
It was very good.
I would say that is, for me, the first Ring of Honor show in the AEW era.
Mm-hmm.
The proper AEW.
That was a Ring of Honor show. That wasn't AEW does Ring of Honor. I mean, that was...
it was Ring of Honor.
That is AEW... Ring of Honor as it kind of now is. That's the new Ring of Honor.
Mm-hmm.
I have to enjoyed it.
It was very enjoyable. There was a lot here to really, really love about this. Obviously, we opened up with a very busy 0 hour free show containing a hell of a lot of matches. Ari Daivari, Trustbusters, in a tag match against Cheeseburger and his buddy. I think it's Shinobi Shadow Squad. Oh, what a great name, man. You had Willow Nightingale. Lads, you know how much I'm a mark for Willow.
All right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
She was great again, man. I really enjoyed it.
Sure was, eh?
Boom Boom Colt Cabana came out for his classic member Colt Cabana kind of style match, and he was great. A lot of fun.
Worth noting, it was a totally different style of match for his Supercard of Honor matchup. You know what I mean? It was classic Cabana, but it was more serious, more mat work, less comedy.
Yes, aye, and that's something that you can't forget about. You can't sleep on Colt Cabana, is that he is genuinely a proper technician in the game. Like he's got his style and he's very, very good at it. I mean, I don't know. Do you want to say anything else on the undercard? One thing for me, I thought we might have seen Parker Boudreaux, but I take it that's to come this week on Dark.
I think there's a couple of things we need to know. So one is the Trustbusters. So that seems to be this new thing that they're doing with Ari Daivari, or Ari, what he's going to be called.
Ari Daivari and Slim J, yeah.
And supposedly it's going to be Slim J and Parker Boudreaux, or whatever he might be called, I don't know.
He's going to be Parker Boudreaux, that's his name.
Is that the name he's going to be?
I would assume
so he's going to be the muscle of the group. Supposedly the gimmick is that Ari has came into some fortune for somewhere.
Yeah.
So he's going to be some rich, suave, snobby bastard. So presumably, based on that alone, they're going to be heels.
Yes.
and that seems to be about as much as known. I want to say on Rampage there was a wee quick teaser.
There was that wee
thing
kind of vignette about him that just kind of dropped to that he was kind of obviously staying
coming
about.
soon. I was surprised to see that they were on the buy-in because, well, Ring of Honor don't call it the buy-in, but anyway, they were on the buy-in. After seeing that, I thought they were going to get a bit of a build, but I mean, obviously knowing their full glory, you know what I mean. They're still waiting on Parker Pedro.
You're waiting on the big man, obviously. To
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of them in Ring of Honor more than the day in AEW. I've got to say, but
yes, I think that's
see what they do with them,
especially with Parker Pedro. It's such a career.
And then also worth noting is the wee backstage spot we got where it was announced that Tully Blanchard Enterprises had been purchased
by Prince Nana.
Yes. Nana obviously like a kind of what would you call him, famous figure for back in the day in Ring of Honor, I guess.
Aye, he's a manager, yeah.
Long time manager, personality type in Ring of Honor, and a bunch of other indies. I think he's been about I think he's been in the business for quite a while.
Yeah.
So supposedly Nana has came into some sort of money through his royal lineage, and he's bought out Tully Blanchard is the story that they're going with. So it's now no longer Tully Blanchard Enterprises, it is the Embassy.
I kind of like that name better, I've got to say.
I do.
It fits better. It definitely fits better. Funnily though, and I don't know, it's something that I actually had somebody else speak about. I think it was one of the boys in Fightful was speaking about it. It's Brian Cage. Does he not stand out as the odd one out in that group?
Oh yes.
I mean, Brian Cage is a physical specimen. He's a bodybuilder's dream. But I'm more impressed by Jasper Conn and Toa Leona. Jasper Conn is cut. He is cut. And Toa Leona is a monster. Yeah, man.
He's like
monster.
He's like in the early stages of becoming like an Amaga type.
Aye, exactly.
He's a monster.
Aye. He doesn't seem to fit with them. It's so weird how... I don't know what it is about Brian Cage.
Made a certain amount of sense with Tully Blanchard because Brian Cage has got a history with Blanchard.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think maybe they might want to move Brian Cage on to something else potentially. But
it's just the whole Brian Cage experiment has totally failed with AEW. They just don't know what to do with him.
No, they have no idea.
I mean, to be fair, it's like, do you know what Brian Cage is like? It's like Big Papa Pump, right? Scott Steiner.
Yeah.
But it's the body of Big Papa Pump, right? So the later years of Scott Steiner. But then with the ability of early years rookie Scott Steiner.
He's actually athletic. He actually has some athleticism.
I mean, little known fact for the history bags of wrestling, but Scott Steiner, who many people will just know as like Big Papa Pump, like this crazy bodybuilder guy,
muscle man.
He invented the running Hurricane Rana. Like he was the first guy to do what became known as the Frankensteiner.
Aye, off the top rope. Aye.
That makes no sense.
It's mad when you think about it, I know, mate. Aye, it's absolutely mad. That was his move originally. It's but it's, I don't know what it is about Brian Cage. And also a wee sidebar: Tully Blanchard no longer part of AEW Ring of Honor going forward. It would seem that he's wanting to concentrate on his kind of missionary work within prisons. He obviously does a lot of kind of speaking to inmates, kind of try to help them turn their lives about, sort of thing, and all that sort of thing. That's what he was doing for years before he got back into wrestling. So I think he's wanting to get back to that kind of thing. And fair play to him, man.
Good on him, man.
Absolutely fair play.
It's weird how it's played out, but
it's a kind of whimper because he's had a good wee run in AEW as a manager. Obviously, with the Sean Spears stuff, the Pinnacle, managing FTR as well, heel FTR. Fair play to him and good luck. Obviously. Always come across as a very nice fella while he was working in AEW.
Yep.
The main card though, lads. Fucking hell, did that kick off with a bang?
Mm-hmm.
The first wrestler to walk out of the main card, Claudio Castagnoli.
Yep.
That piqued my interest immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I was immediately excited. However, when the second wrestler arrived, I knew the result immediately. Out walks champion Jonathan Gresham. Where's his Cthulhu mask? Where's his jacket? Where's his flag?
Did you not know the result before the match? I honestly, I thought it was going to be Castagnoli.
I think...
Looking at the vignettes and stuff that they did, I was like, Castagnoli, because it's going to be the heroes that he never got to win it before, and now he's coming back to beat the best or whatever that you fucking calls himself, Gresham.
The Foundation.
You know,
The Foundation, best technical wrestler in the world.
aye,
That's his
best
The
technical
Foundation
wrestler.
of
Aye. Overcome him and he's a champion. And it makes so much more sense for Castagnoli to be the champ than it does for Gresham to be the champ.
It's something we've spoken about plenty on here. I just don't buy him as a world champion. He's 5'3", he's 150 pounds wet.
Aye.
Claudio Castagnoli is a Superman.
I've got to say, as much as I don't disagree with you, right? He's 5'4" and somewhere in the 180s.
All right, fair enough. I've understood.
Ooh.
He's still a wee guy.
He's still a very
Let's be fair
small
to him.
man.
See, when you're dealing with somebody that's like vertically challenged and all the rest of it, like he is, like, you've got to at least give him his dues.
Aye, sorry, I've cut him shorter and underweight him there. I mean, usually underweighting's a good thing when you're a grown man. I mean, I
know.
would somebody to say he looks about 12 stone. I mean, I've won if that's what's happening to me. But it was a good, for what it was actually a very good match. I liked the immediate spot where Gresham dodged the flying uppercut immediately and just shoot the fingers like, nah, you're doing this in the mat. Like, he worked a very good match, but I think the problem is for me is that he had a grumpy on from the minute he get to the top of the ramp. You knew he was losing.
I didn't enjoy it, I've got to say.
Did you know? You know,
Did not enjoy it.
Is it because the result was spoiled for you from the minute he walked out?
No, because I actually had a moment where, because of what had happened with Tully Blanchard, right, and that group now being the embassy,
Right.
my immediate thought was, right, Sahams went on backstage, Blanchard's away, and so they've pulled Jonathan Gresham for that group. So there's not been enough time to, like, you know, sort of come up with a new gimmick, rebrand them, whatever it is. So he's coming out a bit old school here. He's no bothered with all the palaver. He's coming out serious. We might actually have a good match here. But then as the match went on, it became more and more clear that, like, he was there and he was doing his job, but, like, he wasn't there to have the best match of his life. You know what I mean? He wasn't there to sell himself.
It definitely wasn't his best match I've ever seen.
And I felt like, I felt going into that match that Claudio wasn't the right choice. Certainly know if Gresham was winning, I can see why they put the belt on Claudio, but if Gresham was winning, like, it was a terrible choice. I felt. The style wise, like, Claudio, he's a pro, like, he done his pair, but, like, that kind of slow technical mat wrestling is no him, you know what I mean? So I felt it was clunky at times. Whether that's on Gresham no being fully mentally in it, or whether it's just the styles, I don't know. But I mean, on the face of it, they put together a decent match. It did everything it had today. There was a bit of psychology in there. It was kind of went its time. It was relatively well worked. It was kind of good finish. The seeing the confetti come down in the big moment for Claudio Castagnoli, like, that was cool.
Well, that's one thing I would say was good about it, is that it set the tone immediately for the crowd to be into this. Crowd were immediately very happy.
I thought that the choice of having that by the opener as well was a weird one.
I don't know, because I wanted the main event which I'm sure will come on to be the main event.
Aye, well, I would agree there. I don't think that
If it can be the main event, it has to be the opener. Like it's a big, your big marquee matches are what start and what finish for me. Like,
I'll give you that, I suppose.
so it has to be really. It can't really go in. You can't be a world title in the middle of the card, really, can you? Like,
I would have been inclined to make it like a co-main.
aye. I suppose there's a place for
Have
that.
it be
That's
second
true.
last. You know what I mean, co-main
You
event
had,
kind of
you
thing.
had that Forbidden Door with the NJPW one going on, and then the AEW one. So that's there's some logic in that. Next up, 6-man. The 6-man titles, actually. This was Dalton Castle and the boys. Love them, got to say. I really have a lot of love for Dalton Castle. Against the Righteous, Vincent Bateman and Dutch, with Vita Von Star as their manager. Didn't really care, to be honest. I do like a bit of Dalton Castle's entrance. I do like the whole sort of gimmick with the boys. I think they're a lot of fun. Out of anybody that's currently there to hold the belts, I suppose Dalton Castle and the boys not a bad shout. Wasn't really much going on in the match.
I wish they had put a wee bit more effort into building the match up. You know what I mean? They'd done the video packages for all the other big matches. Like, I don't think there's any reason they couldn't put a wee bit more work into that. But that's what it is. It was a decent match, man. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Aye. It's a belt they suffered for the kind of recent history of Ring of Honor's booking where they didn't make stars, so nobody cared because who are these people? Decently, I mean, they're all right. Like they're all right, but who cares?
Yeah,
it's my honest answer.
Aye, it's unfortunate, man. The Righteous seem like the more convincing team. They seem like they should be trios champs.
Yeah, I mean, they're
like when you see the gimmick and the look that they've got, their presentation, their in-ring stuff, man. Like they're legit. They've got a full-on Big Boss Man clone.
Aye, the big fella. Aye.
They've got a guy that's like a kind of bit of
Wish.com Bray Wyatt.
Aye, that's what I'm trying to get to. Aye, kinda. He's got that sort of vibe about him.
You'll try to say it politely.
Aye, it seems capable.
Aye.
And then the other guy, you know what I mean? The other guy was
the other guy.
So,
oh dear, fuck it. Let's move on to that one. There's really not much there, is there?
it was all right. It did.
It was fine. Aye, again, happy wee crowd pop. So it was. So that was 2 title changes immediately in the first 2 main card matches, and then we move on to the pure wrestling rules match for the pure championship. Wheeler Yuta of the Blackpool Combat Club defeating Daniel Garcia, and this was by a roll up. That was about 15 minutes in, I think it was, wasn't it?
Aye, no, just a roll up though. It's what does he cry?
Oh, it's
Wheeler Yuta's thing that he likes.
I don't know the name.
He's won by a couple. It's the
straight jacket. No, it's not the straight jacket.
No, not the straight jacket. What does he call it? Can't I think now?
I know. It's not the straight jacket. It's Christ. I know. But anyway, we obviously it's a lovely wee kind of. It's not a roll up as such, but it ties the guy's arms and legs up effectively. Ties one leg up over his head, so that they can't possibly move when they're in it. I do love it. It's he's won a few matches with it, so he has. But great example of why pure wrestling should still remain in Ring of Honor under the AEW banner for me. The kind of the mat wrestling and the submission kind of posture and so on and so forth, having to use the rope breaks. Be interesting. Obviously, this is a match. This is the type of thing that suits your wee kind of grappler guys in AEW and Ring of Honor.
It's unfortunate things have played out the way they have with Gresham, because
that's would have been perfect for him.
It's ideal for him. I mean, I get that he's got ambitions of being world champion and etc. But
the seatbelt, by the way, the
seatbelt. That's that.
Straight jacket.
That's it.
Fuck. The seatbelt.
It's. I mean, to be fair, the straight jacket it involves some arms and tying things up.
That's why I went to straight jacket, man.
But By the way, the seatbelt that's William Regal's wet dream, man.
It's such a Regalish kind of thing.
William Regal's biggest thing in wrestling is a convincing pin.
Mm-hmm.
Aye.
That's what he's all about, man.
Something that would actually pin your shoulders to the mat. Notice he put the Regal stretch on him as well at one point during the match. That was one of the rope breaks.
Aye, Garcia went for that, and then Wheeler Yuta came back and immediately went for the Walls of Jericho. What's it called? The Line Tamer.
Line Tamer, aye. That's right, aye.
You see Garcia wore maroon.
Exactly.
Yep, he wore Regal's
Regal.
colours. Yep.
Aye, Regal's colours. Danielson's colours after Regal.
There was some heavy psychology in that match.
There was a wee bit in there, aye. There was a wee bit of the old symbolism, as it were.
And then
Great fun.
He bit him. Remember, he bit him, and Regal was saying that's something he would have done, or something like that. Remembering Garcia a bit.
Aye.
I like the reasoning as well in the commentary that Regal says we can't have everybody in the Blackpool Combat Club, or who are my guys going to fight? Well, that was what he was saying. Is why did you not chase Garcia for the Blackpool Combat Club?
Yep.
Because obviously that was heavy rumoured, wasn't it?
See this whole time with the feuding with Jericho Appreciation Society, and then with everything leading into this match for the pure title, they're just constantly planting seeds, like for Garcia to join them one day.
Aye. They are looking at the build up to this as well. Obviously the countdown show when he was talking to him, when Yuta was trying to get in his head, the facial expressions of Garcia and all that it's heavy hinting that one day he joins. So he does.
Yep, 100%, man.
They've got a long rivalry as well, pre AEW and pre Ring of Honor.
Aye.
These two, so
they came through together.
It should be no surprise that they put on one of the best matches of the night. Lots of fun, man. Lots and lots of fun.
Crowd were cheering. This is wrestling.
It was indeed wrestling, mate, wasn't it?
During that match, they were like, this is wrestling. Like, mate, really? Is it?
Obviously.
But I get what they were saying, though.
It was awesome, man. Funnily enough, in the post fight media scrum, when Yuta and Castagnoli were in with Tony Khan, Daniel Garcia jumped in the room to continue the feud effectively.
Right.
All right.
Going with this, you pinned me with a roll up. You've pinned me with a roll up. That's not a win. We're doing that again.
Right. Okay.
I had to be escorted out the back of the press conference. Good wee bit of.
I like that.
Good
man.
wee bit of. Just a wee cherry on top, man.
See, since we're on the topic, right? So before the podcast, we were talking about stuff, and we mentioned the Comic-Con appearances. Brody King yet again jumping. Darby Allin. Darby Allin was doing a Comic-Con panel, and Brody King and Malachi Black showed up. The leather
Kicked his arse, brilliant. I mean, it's cool that we're in an era where wrestlers talk about it all and all that, but I do love the magic of it being real. You know what I mean? With this kind of stuff happening outside of the companies that they work with and all that.
Kayfabe is a beautiful thing as long as you don't insult their intelligence with it.
Yes. Fucking frame that, put that in a wee tapestry that your granny would knit. Put that up on your wall. That's perfect. Perfect way to say it. We move from what is a very well built story, which I'm sure will run, into a why no match, which was the Battle of the Brothers. Dragon Lee versus Roosh. Why not? Why? It was fun. That's one thing about it. These were two very good luchadors.
There's an irony in them following the pure match.
Aye, the very opposite of pure match, effectively. Aye, and I would imagine that's why they're there. That is exactly why they're there. It's one thing that AEW's always been very big on is the wrestling buffet sort of mentality of we have something for everybody.
Yep.
The only thing that wasn't really on this card was hardcore wrestling, but I think you keep that away from Ring of Honor completely. I don't want to see.
It's no now, nor has it ever been Ring of Honor's thing.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. 15 minutes. Funny to see Jose the Assistant encouraging Dragon Lee as well as Roosh on the outside. He wasn't picking a side, as it were, for a lot of the match.
I felt like there's some groundwork been laid, as much as it was the brother v brother type thing. It felt like there was a wee bit of groundwork been laid that like we might see Dragon Lee
As
teaming up with
an audition, as it
Rush
were.
and Andrade potentially, aye, possibly.
A wee audition for Los Facción Ingobernable, which, by the way, if there was any direction to go with Andrade, the leader of a luchador faction, Stone Cold Killers, man, give me it.
Aye, like have them as a trio. Let them go back and forth, but put them in the trios division in Ring of Honor or 6-man division or what the fuck you want to call it.
Aye,
But,
when
aye.
it comes in AEW, yep.
Oh, aye, and then if and when in AEW, they could totally be in there as well. Aye, I'm all for that, man.
Exactly. When they're out of the ring, wearing the classy suits, looking classy, looking $1,000,000. When they're in the ring, just doing their thing, man.
Yep.
Hitting hard and flying. I mean, it's the first time I've ever seen a man do a suicide dive onto an announcer's table, because that is quite a jump to make. Like
That spot gave me the fear, man.
I mean, that he's covering so much distance.
just made
Straight.
it.
He did, didn't he? Like it was tight. It was really tight.
It was nearly at the point where he had to put his horns out just so he made contact with him.
It was close, man. It was very, very close. Got it though.
Aye, he did. Got away with
Got
it.
it in
Nailed
the
it.
end.
I mean, literally, man, he was like, I nailed it with a nail gun.
Aye,
Lawned at
Aye. Very good though, very good. Women's match though, lads. What did we think of this? Mercedes Martinez versus Serena Deeb. Singles match for the women's world title. Sad? How sad?
I wanted
Explain
Serena Deeb
sad.
to win.
Right, aye, you've got me there. Okay, yes, that is. The crowd seemed to want Serena Deeb to win as well. There was a
It
lot
was
of
the
Deeb
move.
chant.
It was the move. As much as she's a heel, she's got such a respect and a following that. See, after what they did with
actually.
her and Rosa, I felt it was deserved, man. Like Martinez has had a really good run. She's put a lot of respect back in that title. It was time for Deeb to get her felt.
Again, I'm a massive her and Willow Nightingale, man. Just give them the love, man. Especially Serena Deeb, she's phenomenal.
And do you know the thing? The thing that makes me sad, right? Don't get me wrong, right? Really well put together match.
It was, aye.
Fucking bravo to the two of them.
Absolutely.
Like again, like it was. It went longer than some of the matches previous to it. You know what I mean? It was a full on match.
Well, they had time.
Well
they had
worked.
time.
They had time for it. Aye, well put together. Plenty of psychology in it. They did themselves proud, and they did the women's division proud.
Absolutely.
However, the booking before it and the booking of the match itself, I don't agree with it. They rushed it with the tag team angle.
That's true.
Fill up
Like,
the
I
dark
mean,
and dark elevation. Yep.
And I saw that for start to finish because I've been watching Dark and Dark Elevation.
Oh, you die.
So many people haven't. You know what I mean? So they've had like 2 weeks. They're a tag team.
And that's the problem. That's
they're having a match.
that assumption that Tony Khan has that AEW fans watch absolutely everything. That is a massive commitment. That's 4 separate episodes per week.
Yep.
Sometimes Elevation's 2 hours, sometimes Dark's 2 hours. Like it's a lot of TV, man, to try fit in and to try keep up with.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
it's a lazy assumption that everybody's just going to consume the lot.
So shame. Just a shame, man.
Great
I felt
match
like that's something that the booking of that could have been done over like 6 months rather than 6 weeks.
Yep.
And it could have led to like a really good title run for Deeb. But
I hope they do
time
put
will
a belt
come.
on her at some point. Aye, there is free in circulation. They've got to reward that woman. She is
Aye, she must.
vital.
She must get it, man. At one point, I kind of thought they might have put it on us, but I don't know.
One thing I'll say is that they got me a couple of times where I thought it was changing. Like they did. They got me invested.
yep. When they started working that angle, right? I don't know why I never brought it up in the podcast, but for the moment they got together as a tag team, the way they were working together and the constant bickering and one-upsmanship,
Yep.
I thought from the jump for the first match they had together, I thought Deeb is the next, and this is before I knew about the Ring of Honor card coming as well. I thought
Aye.
Deeb is the next champion, they're actually doing long-term booking here.
Aye.
Deeb is the next Ring of Honor Women's Champion, and then fucking rushed through it and done that.
I do like Mercedes Martinez as a champion. She's a big, strong, threatening woman. That finishing move, by the way, I love the border city stretch. It's like a dragon sleeper into it with the feet locked. I love it, man. Absolutely love it.
Yep.
It looks so less like you're saying about Regal, obviously. Something that looks convincing. That is heavy convincing for me. That looks
one thing I've got to give them, got to tip the hat for when it comes to booking. So much of the story that's been told between them is who's got the better submission finish. So it is really nice to see, based on that she got the win with the submission.
Yeah, aye,
that's them doing their job and telling their story, despite the rushed booking.
Yeah,
despite that. But then after the fight, though, there was that embrace.
Seems like we might see them actually back as a tag team again, because they properly embraced.
I did like that. They put on an important match, and they deserved to have their moment together. I think for me, it was nice to see. So match 10 of this 11-match card, lads. Samoa Joe, first time we've seen him in God knows how long, versus Jay Lethal. That man comes out to boss music. He is indeed a boss. It was a very unusual pattern of match, obviously, with the match no starting for about 10 minutes almost, wasn't it? Like, it was.
I have to say I like it because it fits with Ring of Honor more than anything else. Like, you don't want to go WWE on it and have Satnam Singh appear like halfway through the match and you know, the referee just didn't happen to see the 7-foot fucking giant at ringside backwards. You know what I mean?
The literal. I mean, he's Groot, isn't he, man? He literally is Groot. It's just he's the same size as Groot, the same thickness. He's a monster.
I like that they went with that approach and had it just be a fucking free for all before the match starts.
Aye.
And then despite it all, Samoa Joe prevails, kind of thing.
Aye.
Yep.
He was awesome. He is awesome, though. I mean, you're not going to get Samoa Joe in full-time wrestling for a lot longer. He's in his 40s. He has had a very hard 20-ish years in his body. Obviously, with shape him the weight. Man. Aye, exactly. Wrestles like a cruiserweight, built like a super heavyweight. So it's going to take its toll on your body. So you're not going to get him much longer. It's great that he can still put these matches on. Jay Lethal as well. What a fucking pro.
I've got a lot of love for the two of them, man. I really do.
A very good match. Go.
The time I spent watching Ring of Honor years back, like they were two of the top dogs. The years I spent watching TNA when I was looking for an alternative to WWE, they were two of the top dogs. Like they've just, any time I've tried to get away from WWE and I've looked for something else that can kind of fill that wrestling void, the two of them's been there.
There's Jay Lethal, there's Samoa Joe.
Just putting in shift after shift, so I have a lot of love for them.
It was great, man. They were phenomenal. And TV champ for a show that doesn't have TV yet. Hopefully they have TV.
Maybe soon.
Fingers crossed. No mention. I don't think there was much mention on it this weekend, which I think they might have.
TK just keeps going back to the line of he's waiting for the right distribution deal. He's no rushing into it. Which is good and bad.
It's his prerogative, and it seems to be doing well in its pay-per-view numbers, like considering what it was doing. Like it's multiples of. I think he'd said something like 25,000 buys at a certain point, but he was expecting that number to climb a lot more. And that was still 5 times more potentially than what they were usually getting Ring of Honor. So it shows that they're making money. Just how much money is enough money? I don't know. I mean, I'm not a business guy, but great match, and hopefully he's a TV champion on Ring of Honor TV at some point soon. Brilliant though. Main event. FTR versus them boys, the Briscoe brothers. The match that sold the pay-per-view, I think, for a lot of people, the marquee match, it went on last. Tag match is your main event. 2 out of 3 falls. I'm telling you facts, lads. Give me opinions on what you think about it, though, because I'm assuming it's all love.
I'm going to fling this out there.
Fling it, throw it in the air.
I wasn't sure if they could outdo that first match.
The last
They
one.
struck
Me
gold
neither.
with that, man. That was lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
First time they'd ever been in a ring together. Practically the first
Yep.
time they had met. And they put on an amazing barn burner of a match. This match had such a different style, but not only did they top their first match, that might be the best match in the history of wrestling.
You really loved it that much?
Genuinely. It had everything, man. It was such a well-worked, well-structured match.
That's how I feel about it. I've heard funny kind of contrasting views on it. Wrestling Observer, for instance, Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer both saying that they preferred the first match because it had heat on it from the opening bell, because you didn't know who was going to win. Whereas this obviously has the disadvantage of, well, you're assuming it's gone 2-1 to somebody, you know what I mean? You know the first person winning's not going to win the match immediately. There's going to be an equaliser and a winner. I don't know if I agree. I don't really agree with that, though. I don't agree with that. I'm happy to go along with the ride on that. Because they made it worthwhile.
Aye. Here's the thing, right? I'm trying not to take up too much time here, but
That's fine.
with the first match, either can be numerous false finishes, and you can be on the edge of your seat as we were watching that match. But with this one, like, there literally is 3 falls, right? So not only are you going to have false finishes, you're going to have real finishes.
Exactly, man.
You know what I mean? Throughout the match, like, so
You
there's
don't
just
know when they're coming.
There's that extra, like, I don't know if I can't articulate it, man, but there's something extra to that, and I genuinely, I'll be honest, as much as it makes more sense to me in terms of AEW to have FTR retain the belts, it makes so much more sense in terms of Ring of Honor to have the Briscoes win the belts. So I genuinely didn't know who was winning. It could have, and other things, obviously, maybe they wanted their trilogy, so maybe it made more sense for the Briscoes to win. So I genuinely didn't know who was winning that.
Aye. I think the role that FTR are on, they are the best in the world. And it's very hard to argue against them winning against anybody, even such as the Briscoes, who are Ring of Honor through and through. And if you think of Ring of Honor, you think of the Briscoes. They more than made up their part in this match, though. Again, the Briscoes, like, everybody's talking about FTR as the best ever, potentially the best, one of the best 5 ever to do it. Like, and fair enough, that's very reasonable. But the Briscoes, again, man, they're just so. I love the psychology as well of the first fall, where they had the Doomsday device, and Mark is immediately looking to run block on Cash coming in to break the pin, and just swamps over the top of him so that he can't reach to break up the pin.
Yeah.
Loved it. And there was lots of instances in that at both teams where the other man is looking to defend their partner pinning. Like, you don't see it enough in tag matches.
It's
thought, like, you know what I mean?
It's proper, like, classic tag team wrestling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's something that you always get with FTR, even when they're against somebody that is known for spots and stuff, you know, like a Young Bucks or a Lucha Brothers or whatever. They always bring that element of psychology to a match.
Psychology, team tactics.
They're always
reasons.
working and stuff, aye. They're always doing things. And just two of the best teams in the history of tag team wrestling. And you know what I mean, they've had 2 matches together, and they're possibly, you know, they're top, both matches have had their top 10 in the history of tag wrestling, and like I say, that match is up there with the best matches straight across the board.
And I mean, the Briscoes have lost 2 in the trot now, but they obviously, there's the ref bump and there's the very visual pin that it won each. It's almost like a fucking 10 count, like, you know what I mean? But there's no ref there.
Psychology word of the day for me, right? But the fact that when the referee gets 10 out, which, by the way, that was the only moment in that match where I was like, that was a bit shit. Because the referee got 10 out, but because somebody was out of position. Don't know whether you blame the ref or the wrestlers, but Dax had to go looking for the ref, if that makes sense.
I know what you mean. Wasn't he quite perfect?
That was the only thing that wasn't smooth. But, well, that and Dax getting dropped in his head, but Less said about that, the better.
Jesus, aye.
That was just a rough landing.
It's a doomsday device. They are
Well,
notoriously
they're
difficult to land.
unpredictable, man.
Aye, like you're judging how you flip them off your
What am I
shoulders.
trying to say here? Right, so the fact that when the referee gets flattened, the first pinfall is the Briscoes.
Yeah.
So that is that psychology there is the foundations of a future match.
Exactly, aye. They've got a reason. We had you at 1 each. We had you pinned.
Aye. Yep. They beat them. They should have beat them.
You've a way
2-1.
back in. Yeah.
Yep.
You have a way back into it in time. No now. No soon either.
We don't know.
Leave it. Just get that the fuck away right now.
Yep.
But give me that again. Because it's magic. It's lightning in a bottle. Brilliance. Like those two teams. They are the best matched tag match I think I've seen in the past 5 years. And I thought it'd be hard to top the Bucks versus Kenny Omega and Hangman Page as a standalone tag match where just everything is perfect. Everything is perfect. But the FTR team just do it with everybody they're in their way. They just seem to bring the best out of everybody. It's they can do their own way where they want to tell the story. They can do spot. I mean, the first Bucks match with them is a spot fest, but it's fucking awesome. Like, it's awesome. They're almost unrivaled for me.
Yep.
Almost unrivaled.
The fact that
as far as I'm concerned,
AEW or Tony Khan, if you want to put it that way, has in some way, shape, or form now under contract FDR, the Young Bucks, Lucha Brothers, and the Briscoes.
Aye.
It's
insane.
Mental, isn't it?
Absolutely insane. Like the
And then
tag roster is the greatest ever assembled.
With the relationship that they've got with New Japan, they've got access to some phenomenal teams and factions over there as well, man. Like,
it's a good time.
And then connection to like the Good Brothers as well through the Bucks and Hangman and Omega and that. So,
wild. It's a lot of fun. Red Dragon, for fuck's sake. I mean,
them as well. Aye. They're smooth as fuck.
It's insane, man. It really is wild. Even their bang average teams are great teams. Butcher and the Blade, love them. Absolutely love them.
Yep. Really good.
Throwback. They're just a throwback.
Yep.
It's great. But anyway, you know what? We'll move on to just a wee quick score out of 10. Where do we think Death Before Dishonour 2022 sits? And a score out of 10, lads.
I'd have to give it an 8.
An 8 for you.
Aftermarket done for the world title fight.
Right, okay.
And
So you
the women's not quite satisfying everything that I was kind of hoping for there, feud wise. But outside of that, it was solid.
Awesome, mate. That's fine by me. Harvey, pal, what do you think?
9.5.
9.5.
High praise.
Wow. No, I would go as high as a 9 as well, lads. I've got to say, I would give that has been my favourite pay per view this year.
Aye.
It really has. So
you get. Sorry.
No, you go, fella. You tell me more.
No, I was going to say, like, I'd give it a 9.5. There's excellent performances in there, and then the changing of the belt to Castagnoli out.
Aye.
That gives Ring of Honor the chance to have a proper star as their like, what's the word I'm looking for now? Their headliner.
Aye, the headliner.
Their poster, like, do you know what I mean?
Face of the company.
Face of the company.
Perfect face.
Do you know what I mean? Get people in there, and then under his tenure, he can take them forward, and everybody who's underneath him, like, show them the way. I think it.
Couldn't have said it better myself, mate. Couldn't have said it better myself. From the absolutely brilliant and the very enjoyable, we'll quickly skirt over for 2 minutes, and it's all I'm giving it, I'm afraid. AEW Dynamite this week.
See, just
Shark Week.
very briefly before we move on to that. Very briefly, right? What did you think of Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta with William Regal by their side coming out to the stage at the end of the show
to claim all the belts.
With a bit of the face-off with FTR.
Don't need to see it. Don't need to see it. That's not a tag team.
No.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
Nah.
To be honest, I didn't read too much into that.
I didn't either.
It was just the belts.
A fun wee exhibition
Like, I
match
just
as
thought
a
it was
tag
like
match on
The
Rampage.
champions in there, and then it was just like, whatever.
Aye.
I don't think that we'll see that.
Aye. Don't really care about it, gotta be honest.
Aye. I don't know if I see it happening either. But I mean, who knows?
Aye, you just don't know. Right. Come on, lads. We need to just get through it. We need to just quickly talk about it, then move on for it. So, Fyter Fest Week 2, Shark Week. Luchasaurus turned face,
Maybe, kinda.
possibly, whatever it was, stepped aside. Modern Kane, that they booked like a champ, they booked like an awesome monster. They just went, nah, you like that? Well, fuck you. That was the most WWE Vince McMahon style thing I've seen in AEW. And then the main event, which was a cluster from start to finish.
Oh, aye.
From start to finish. Wait, I'm no done, because I'm just want to rant about it and that's me done, right? This, for me, was the single worst episode of AEW Dynamite. I don't care what professional wrestlers are telling me. Well, I mean, it's Jericho, it's the Painmaker. I do not give a fuck. I know they put in a lot of hard work into that match and they hurt themselves very badly with barbed wire. This was shit. It was shit. This
It was shit.
as bad as the Dark Order standing tall over the battered elite as the last episode of 2019. They need to fix that immediately, and I swear I will turn it off if I feel that it's gone that way next week, and I will not watch the full episode, because that was an insult to my intelligence and to my time. Right, I'm done. That's me. I've got it by me. It was that shite. It was that bad. It was bollocks. Total bollocks.
It was shite.
You Ty Conti couldn't even open the fucking shark cage. The boy's just running through the shark cage.
That was just...
So what's the point in the cage?
You see at the point, she was there the key, she couldn't get it, she hands it to whoever, he's
Aye.
trying to get it, but they're like, fuck it.
Angela
And they
Parker
start
just goes,
wheeling
right,
out
well,
the
there you
side,
go.
like, oh, well, but whatever. Like,
Jake Hager, the 6'6" monster, just sneaks through the side as well. They don't think to cut away because they know this is going wrong. Get back to the ring and then we'll see them running and we'll assume that she's unlocked the door. It's so silly. It's so silly. I'm alright, I'm fine, I'm sorry, lads.
To be fair on that one, that's on the production team. You know what I mean?
It's on everybody.
That's
Aye.
on the production
Not
team.
well.
Like, she fumbled, she
That
picked up the wrong
wee
key,
section,
she
aye.
doesn't know how to work a key, whatever it is. Either which way, the production team should have immediately cut away for it. Immediately. They should have known to no show that.
Get away.
Cut away for it, go back to the ring. I don't know.
They're a few seconds ahead of live telly. They know that's happening. Get it away from there. Like, it's so silly. And then, and by the way, they even, sorry Harvey, they even have a heel turn with Anna Jay out of nowhere. Great. That's brilliant because they're mates and you've shown us they're a tag team before. Why in the main event do I need to care about that? What is the point in the Dark Order now?
It was...
They are shitting members quicker than shit through a goose.
oh, no, but Hangman's getting back. Do you not see that?
Oh, aye, because he had a lovely wee tag match booked.
It's just weird
No,
because
but
he was never in
when
the
they were
Dark
getting
Order, so
attacked.
it's...
Well, aye,
I
but...
don't know.
Aye, I'm sorry, lads.
Aye.
Wasted my
I
time
did-
this week.
I didn't like it. Honestly, even
That
I know,
broke me.
Michael, you were saying like you didn't mind when, like the thing with Jungle Boy and that. Like I didn't fucking like that at all.
that really annoyed me.
No,
Really?
I feel like I've been misrepresented here. I thought that was shite.
Oh, no, but you said you didn't mind Jungle Boy coming out, and I just fuck it. In one of the voice notes, man, I swear you said that.
You weren't as indignantly angry as I was.
Aye.
I was-
and I
I was
realised that
shocked
I'm a
at
grown
it.
man getting angry at a television
I was shocked
programme
at
here, by
the-
the way.
I mean, I'm giving them a bit of leeway, right? I'll say that much. I don't like if they have fucked us over with Lucha and he's indeed going
He comes
back
back out
face.
with a green mask.
I'm not going to be happy about that because like that he is like Kane 2.0. He's epic. He's a big monster. So, aye, you leave him with Christian. But aye, I'm giving them time. Let's see what happens, because obviously they decided to just have them run backstage, and that was that, which is a weird decision. So we'll let that one lie. But what I do remember saying about it is that I really did enjoy, like, for the most part anyway, the first hour of the show. I thought the opener was really strong.
Aye. Maybe that's why I'm as angry. Possibly.
I think it was more a case of the back half of the show kind of tainting the the outlook on the show as a whole.
Previous 3 months of storytelling. tainting the very show itself.
It is a massive letdown, that match, unfortunately.
Very worrying.
It really was. The most frustrating thing for me, though, right, is that the seemingly only learning for their mistakes. They still continue to go with, like, spots that haven't worked in the past, and, like, they maybe make slight improvements or whatever, but, like, they're still not doing things right. Like what did they call it? The spider web or something, like the barbed wire thing that Jericho got flung in at the end.
Aye,
looked like shit. Looked terrible.
I mean, again, why? Who cares? He's just won.
Aye.
That doesn't make Eddie a winner. It's stupid. It's so stupid. They need to end it.
And
it's bollocks.
Here's something that's very frustrating. So obviously some of the matches, if not all the matches, have been announced for Dynamite next week. So, like, on release day for AEW Mash, like tonight, if you're listening to this on release day, on Dynamite, we're going to have Danielson returning and taking on Garcia. So we're continuing Blackpool Combat Club and Jericho Appreciation Society, seemingly. There still seems to be, like, ongoing beef with Jericho and Kingston. God knows what they're doing there. Like, it seems like this isn't yet done with, and it really should have been done with 2 weeks ago.
They've had Anarchy in the Arena. They've had Blood and Guts. They've had a shark cage. Why are they burning us out, man? They're just burning us out with shit.
The shark cage, well, the barbed wire everywhere, but it was...
Can we acknowledge the Black Mask? The Painmaker, Jericho.
Oh,
what was he thinking?
He came up out of that stage like Jack Jarvis, concerned citizen, Craiglang. See the episode where he batters the kitchen?
Aye.
Jack Jarvis, concerned citizen. That's all that went through my head when he jumped up out of nowhere. Jack Jarvis, concerned Craiglang citizen. I was like, nobody thinks that's cool but you, mate. And everybody's too scared to tell you because just it's a big deal. And no harm to me is a big deal, but that was shite.
Did you see it in the match where he did the, oh my god, what's it called again? Anyway, it's when you jump up on your two knees and you bring it.
Codebreaker.
Codebreaker, that's the one. Aye.
Codebreaker.
We did the Codebreaker with the chair in between.
That's right.
Did you see that the chair actually came back and smashed him in the face?
Oh, it
legit broke his nose.
Fucked him up.
Legit. You can see it when it happened. I was pissing myself laughing because I've seen it.
I don't know if Kingston was supposed to throw the chair away or keep it. Maybe he was supposed to keep it on top of Jericho's knees. No, I don't. I'm not sure. But it didn't work.
No. And this was after they had such a good match, man, as well before. This is what's the most
the sequence at the end where Guevara's holding Kingston. He's holding Kingston, and then he does like the reverse kind of donkey kick thing to the nuts to Guevara to break away. And then Jericho's waiting to do the Judas effect, and it, like, they all mistimed, and it's not even. It's the bat or something he's got, and it's all the clunky as fuck. And then they get reversed, and Jericho's then in front of Guevara, and Kingston goes to do the spinning back fist thing that he does,
the fist,
and misses. And then Jericho does the wee reaction like, shit, did they hit me there?
Oh, just
It's an embarrassment.
It's the
man.
fact you could see in Kingston's face that he was like, fuck.
Oh, he knew. He knew.
He couldn't even sell, that. He just sat there like, well, this was shit. Like, this was a fucking mess.
It's such a shame.
I'm calling time on it, alright? I'm not putting this much negativity into the world, man. I have disgraced myself with ranting like a fucking Wayne. That's it is, man. That's not what wrestling's about. I shouldn't be going on like that. Apologies, listeners.
Hey,
apologies.
As I said, the opener, the thing, the ongoing feud with Darby and Brody King, and then by proxy, Sting, Malachi Black, they're all getting involved.
Also great.
Like that. That's continues to be phenomenal. Very much into that.
The beautiful pre-Ring of Honor promo for FTR. Beautiful.
Yep.
Like, this is the thing I think that frustrates me, is that there's still so much good on there. How can you miss with that stuff on your show? How can you miss? I'm not starting again. Right. Last thing.
What did one DNA say to? What did one DNA say to the other DNA?
Go for it.
Do these jeans make me look fat?
Yes.
Terrible.
Thank God I needed that. Before we go, last wee 5 minutes here. Vince McMahon.
Oh, I forgot about that.
He's resigned. 2 weeks after, fuck him. And out there giving it the big speech, the basically doing the I'm not fucking leaving bit for Wolf of Wall Street in the ring. He's now retired. He is retired effective immediately, would be the right way to say that, from all roles, including creative. Bruce Pritchard will now run creative. Triple H will be the new talent relations man, and co-chairman of the company is now shared by Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan.
Yeah.
Why has he done this 2 weeks after that? I'm not fucking leaving. As I've mentioned, something else is coming on it.
Got to be.
Well,
Something worse is coming.
I think it's to get him out the limelight.
There's three things. Three possibilities in my mind. One, somehow the board have managed to force him out. Unlikely, but possible. Two, some sort of health thing that we don't know about. He is fucking ancient, let's be honest. He's 77 or something.
Very old.
77.
And then three, the most likely, something utterly horrendous is about to break. Something is coming, and he's jumping before he's shot.
My money's on number 1 or 3.
I think 3.
Number 1. Well, I think actually number 1 and number 3.
One is hard because the company's his, mate.
Well, the company's his, but
Still.
the way that the way America, I don't know, laws and shit is,
Right, go for
they
it.
can force him out, even though he's the majority shareholder.
'Cause he holds
Especially
all
if
the
they
vote,
think he's if something's coming out,
Aye.
like sexual harassment or that kind of stuff. There, they can force him to sell that company in American law. Like, I don't know how it is in the UK, but they could so.
I thought it was...
number 3 could have led to number 1.
I thought it was interesting that there was no mention of him selling stock. Like, he's still the majority shareholder.
Aye, he's
Still
not
majority.
sort of thing.
Either he's hoping to get back in still, or he's
Of course he is.
clinging at a straw, basically, by holding onto the stock. I don't know, but...
I think what he's doing is he's getting out the limelight for the WWE, so when that stuff happens, it doesn't really affect the WWE, and then he can still have his controlling share instead of getting it forcibly removed from him, so that he still has the power. It's damage control. That's what it is.
Aye, it definitely seems that way.
I mean, it is ultimately, it's damage control for a publicly traded, what am I talking about? A publicly traded company, so it is damage control. Aye, but feels like there's the other shoe's going to drop for me. It's going to come. Like, one shoe's dropped, the other one will drop.
The fact that so much has came out already in such a short space of time is like alarming, very alarming. Because he's been in the position that he's in for 30 plus years. What was it, in late 70s, early 80s that he took over for his?
80s I think it was. It was still the WWF in the 70s. His dad's still running, I'm sure. I mean,
it was mid.
exactly,
Let's say it was like mid 70s. He came into the company,
Aye, early 80s, I think, is when he assumed
aye.
full control,
So-
and then come up with the WrestleMania
Aye.
idea, etc. etc. Took the risk.
So he's been in a very powerful position, at the very least since the 90s.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's no way he just turned into a misogynistic, womanising, horrible piece of shit in the last, 10 years. So
Well, no, he's been like
there's
another-
more to come.
Remember when you had told us to watch that Dark Side of the Ring episode, Paul?
To play
Yeah, with Ric
The
Flair.
whole
playing right
whole
from hell.
plane
Plane
incident
right
in the
from
lift.
hell.
And I said after that, that more will come because of that.
Yeah, and it seems to have been the start. Aye, women feeling they can talk about things like that. I mean, obviously, there was a speaking out movement too. This, for me, draws a parallel to the entertainment industry with Harvey Weinstein.
Aye.
Folk are no longer scared, I think, is the thing, and they don't care about NDAs now. Like they know that even if they break an NDA, it's going to do much more damage.
Yeah.
Because you can't come after every single one of them because it's going to be a flood. Like, that's what's going to happen. Feels that way, man. I mean, we are speculating here big time. And I should say that we're speculating.
We should say it's alleged allegations, but
it's all alleged. But
come on. The amount of
alleged.
stories that the rumours and stuff like that that's floated about for years, and stories coming out was it Ashley Massaro or something like that?
yeah,
The one that took her life. What she went through, albeit not directly at the hands of McMahon or anything, but she was basically told to keep quiet by the WWE after she was gang raped. When that's the type of culture you're dealing with, you know there's a lot more going on.
Horrible, man.
It is absolutely fucked up, man.
Yep.
It's horrendous.
Yeah. Aye. Well, that's when you're mentioning Ashley Massaro. It was Paul London, I think, was on Rene Dupree. Remember Rene Dupree, French Canadian wrestler? He has a podcast. Paul London was on there, and he was mentioning her and issues with Vince McMahon with her.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, more's coming. Much more's coming. That's what I think's going to happen. Though it's been the weirdest, maddest last 5 years in pro wrestling. All of a sudden, it's went mental. For the birth of a new rival company to WWE just exploding with madness everywhere.
I tell you what, mad, if Vince is gone, it's going to be a very interesting couple of years in WWE because there will be a power vacuum. It's fair enough. Triple H and Stephanie seem to be in really good positions now, but with them being a publicly traded company, there will 100% be a power vacuum. There will be moving and shaking. There'll probably be a big desire to get rid of folk like Bruce Pritchard ASAP, I would think. I don't think.
Kevin Dunn's apparently on his way as well, by the way. He's apparently on his way very soon.
So I think there'll be a lot of moving and shaking over the next year or two.
John Laurinaitis is going. Bruce Pritchard will not take long either, but he'll not hang about without his mates. He'll know. I mean, he's in his 60s as well. Why is he want to be in there on his own? It's all going to change a lot. There's a lot going to change in a very quick time.
Prediction.
Will he come back out of retirement? God knows.
Over under 3 years. WWE main roster shows akin to the heyday of NXT. And under or over 3 years, what do I think?
I don't think they ever will be, mate. I don't think it's possible. I just don't. It would be lovely if Triple H got the pencil long term, because it would be the best version of WWE possible if he booked it the way he booked NXT. He didn't fail NXT. He didn't. WWE failed NXT. He didn't fail it. He booked it brilliantly, and it was the most entertaining wrestling show for a long time. Probably even more entertaining than AEW. Like, to begin with, it was a better show than AEW. AEW were learning on the job. Like, there was a lot of love for AEW and a lot of will for AEW to succeed. So they got a lot of
help.
Help for the media would probably be the best way. There was a lot was let slide about things that were quite clearly rubbish. botchy matches. Jack Evans, like fucking Jack Evans on telly. God damn it! Every match you're like that. What is he going to do next? For God's sake, don't fall, because it'll be all other wrestling Twitter. AEW's crap. There was a will for AEW to do well, so they go away with a lot of no perfect telly. Obviously, they're learning from the ground up. Like obviously they are, but NXT was great. It was great, and it's a shame they killed it the way they did. So if SmackDown and Raw had Triple H and Shawn Michaels helming the creative, it would probably be a lot better. A hell of a lot better. It really would be. So, but will he ever get that ability to do that? Probably no. No, I don't think so. I would love it to happen, but I don't have any hope for it.
It could go either way, Michael. There could be a big desire for, obviously with the power struggles and stuff going on, and then a big desire for a change, and that could have, Triple H at the helm and have that change within 3 years, or there could be that struggle over the time, and then after a while they'll say, right, okay, we had this struggle now, it's been absolutely terrible, we need one person to lead us through, boom.
Aye.
And it could be him again. And then so it could be either or, depending on situations. So
under 3 years until they're sold, though, I think, to somebody else. I believe.
Ooh.
I believe they'll be bought.
God damn, that would be a big bill. That'll be bordering on $1 trillion.
Oh, it'll be crazy money. Billions and billions they'll be sold for, aye.
That'll be a stupendous amount of money.
Yep. You used the Vince McMahon word, I like it. That'll happen, though. That will come. So that will definitely come. I think in time. Because, he comes out of retirement at 78? How much longer? He's old. Even if all this disappears, he's old. He's really old.
He is, but the way that he is, his personality is he needs to be in control. I'm telling you, I can guarantee you, even though he's retired, right? I guarantee you he's still going to be sending messages and stuff to his daughter and that.
Bruce Pritchard,
this is what you got to do. This is where you're going to do this, you do that. He's retired. He says that just to get out the limelight, but he's still running it.
He's a loyal soldier, Bruce Pritchard, as well. He will be. He will be booking it in Vince's image for as long as he is there, whether that's weeks, months, or a year. It's interesting, as always.
What do you make of the Brock Lesnar thing?
Did it happen?
So the chat is that Brock Lesnar was already at the arena when the news broke that Vince McMahon was retiring, and so he left in a huff, raging that Vince was retiring, and had to be persuaded to come back to the show because he was scheduled to appear on SmackDown.
So the whole episode was apparently, according, I think it was Fightful that brought the news, Fightful Select. Apparently the whole episode was Brock heavy, like there was a lot of Brock apparently going to be in there. They had to rewrite the full episode. While they were doing that on the fly, they were trying to get him back to the venue. He then returns and they have to rejig the end of the episode where he comes out in F5's phone. It's wild. Fair play to them to put something on TV that's just about watchable, because imagine being a writer working in that team. How under pressure you must be.
Crazy, man.
And there's no figurehead there. Like, Vince McMahon's gone, so there's like you said, Harvey, there's a vacuum.
Well, it was Michael that said that.
Sorry, I was, wasn't it? Fuck, my bad.
But I know, like,
I think he's both said it at one time.
You can guarantee that there will have been 2 or 3 folk walking about backstage saying, like, one person says, right, we don't know if Brock's coming back yet, right? So you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to go see this person to get your script or whatever, right? Then as they're walking to there, somebody else meets them in the corridor and goes, "What the fuck are you doing?" I tell you used to go.
Where are you going?
No. We're still going with plan A. Go into this. Go into that. All the wrestlers are just going,
Nobody must have known whether they were coming or going. Aye, everybody just with migraines like, fuck. Yeah. Mental.
Crazy
it was
time,
a
man.
mental day for wrestling news. Anyway, lads, we've way overstayed our welcome here, man. It was a busy weekend, we knew that. So we have talked good times, we have very quickly ranted bad times, and we've went into the goddamn mental this week. As always, ladies and gentlemen, we are followed by our man Harvey. This week it is Moto Mash, am I right in saying, Harvey? Boom shakalaka, it is indeed. We have the French Grand Prix to discuss. Previous to this episode dropping, we have a very, very enjoyable MMA mash with a lot of fights to cover this weekend, including the UFC card in London. Tune in for all of that stuff. As always, tune in for the lot of it. We are glad to have you guys, and just keep one another safe, love each other, be happy, peace, one love. I insert a random nice slogan in here and smile and enjoy it. We're out of here. Bye bye, ladies and gentlemen. Bye. I'll wait for a nice part. Bye.